Hi, everybody. I'm Nancy Merland, and I'm with Merland Marketing and Social Media. If we haven't met before, hello. I'm so glad that you're here. And I'll just let you know that I'm a marketing, content, social, and digital media speaker, trainer, and advisor for lawyers and legal marketers. And I want to talk about lists today and why on Twitter and why they should have any importance or significance in your social and digital media life. You may have heard a couple of us talking lately about adding you to lists that have to do with the 2016 LMA annual conference. And you might be wondering, well, that's great, but why should I even care about that? And that's a good question. So I'm going to take a couple minutes to talk about that now. Actually, the answer to that is yes, you probably should care about them, and this is why. These lists are great ways to establish relationships with people and to network with other like-minded people. I'm going to take you through mine for an example. If you are on my Twitter account, which is just Nancy Merland, twitter.com/Nancy Merland, as you can see there, you might notice that my cursor's right here in the middle, right under my cover photo. You see my lists right here. Well, if I click on my lists, because I'm in my account, you're going to see even my private and my personal ones. The ones that are not public actually have the lock on them. There's nothing sneaky or weird about them. They're just ones that I have named for certain reasons. But we land here on, and you will see the public ones. So you will see, just as I am, LMA 16 by Nancy Merland. So if we click on that, what that brings you to is a list of all of the people. And what we're looking at here, the view we're looking at, is the tweets these people send. We can see over here that this is a list. If you look up here in the browser, LMA 16 by Nancy Merland, or if you look over here up in the upper left-hand corner, LMA 16 by Nancy Merland. So this is a public list that I have actually put together. And if you click here, you will see all the tweets from all of these people in the list. And we just go up and down, and you can see what other people who are attending the conference are saying. If you go over here to list members, again, I'm over here on the left. If you click on list members, this is where I'd recommend you spend some time. This is just a nice list of people who are actually on this list, who I have placed here. And they've either said they're going to the conference, so I put them here, or I have found them on Twitter because they've used the conference hashtag, which is LMA16. So what you can do is you can go up and down this list and you can say, oh my gosh, I'm not following Eric, and right over here it would say follow, and you would just click follow. Or gosh, I don't know enough about Handshake software, so Handshake needs to put a little bit more information in their profile so that when you hover, you will learn about them. But you might click on that and learn about Handshake and say, oh yeah, I want to follow them. And you would go up and down a list like this and say, these are like-minded people. These are people who have something to do with this year's annual conference, or they're legal marketers, and those are smart people for me to connect with. And then if you look at over here again on the left, you can also subscribe to a list of someone else's. So for example, if you wanted to subscribe to this LMA 16 list, then you would click on list subscribers, or if you want to see who has already subscribed to it, then you would just go over here and say, oh gosh, all these people have decided that they want to subscribe to this list. They have somehow decided that they want to, instead of putting their own list together, they want to subscribe to it so that they can then follow that list. And then what happens is that once you actually click subscribe, and then if we go back a page, when you go into, I'm very slow today, when you go back a page, let's go back another page, then when you look in your lists, then what happens is that it will show up under your lists if you follow it. So that's all about that. If you look over here, then you can see this was my list from LMA 15. And again, that's just listed under my lists, right under my profile. So these are the people that I had added to this list that had something to do with LMA 15. Again, they may have told me they were going to the conference, or I saw in the brochure they were going to the conference, or they were using the LMA 15 hashtag. Now, there are going to be some people who will use the hashtag, and the hashtag may be used for some other event every once in a while. But most of these people actually that I catch are actually going to the conference or have something to do with it. And I'd like to show you another list just like this, but not exactly the same. Heather Morse Geller, and you can see her avatar right there, but if you go to Heather_Morse, Heather also has several lists, and one of them is called LMA Annual Conference, and hers is really a running collection of people from conferences going way back, and not necessarily just this year. So you may want to do the same thing. If you look here on the left and look at list members, then you will see who actually she has added to this list over the years. And I want to show you something else, because many of us use Twitter management tools, and these are just tools that help us to prioritize and to look at Twitter in a more organized and a systematic and efficient way. One of the first that I began using, there's my friend Kimberly Bell, and I'm always happy to see her here. What I wanted to bring you here for is so that you can see how you can set these lists that I have just showed you up on Twitter. As long as I'm here, what I want to show you right before I show you those lists is that I have set up lists for many things. Many of them are hashtag searches. I always have, if you can see my cursor right here on the LMA MKT list, I always have this list up so that I can see who is posting that has something to do with LMA MKT. They have added that hashtag to their tweet. And then this, I've added a column for LMA 16. Now this is not the list that I talked to you a moment ago, those who are attending the conference. This is full of tweets where people have actually added the LMA 16 conference hashtag to their tweet. And those are going to come up in this list that I have set up. I'm also one of the co-chairs of the LMA Social Media SIG, and we are managing the LMA 16 selfie campaign right now, and the hashtag is LMA 16 selfie, and we're encouraging people to post their selfies just like they did last year. This is the second year for this. So I would obviously, it's smart for me to have a column set up where I can see all of the selfies coming in, which is great. It makes it easy for me because I'm taking screenshots of them and putting videos together. And the first video was posted yesterday, so I encourage you to take a look at that. It is tagged with LMA 16 selfies, so you can find it that way. But let's go back over here, because the two lists that I showed you a moment ago that have to do with LMA 16 and conference goers, I told TweetDeck that I wanted to see those lists in their own column on TweetDeck. And the way I did that, follow my cursor back over here to the left in all of these settings. And if I click on, if you can see me over here, add column, then TweetDeck says, well, what do you want to see in that column? And I said, well, I want to see one of my lists. And then I go down to the LMA. In this case, I would have clicked on LMA 16, and I would have clicked on that, and they would have showed me that list in its own column. Obviously, I did this last year for LMA 15. I have many of them set up for different search terms, but you can do that for search terms that you designate, for hashtags that you know about, for types of people. Like I am following someone else's list that is business law firms. And again, it can be for just about anything that you want to follow on Twitter. Twitter is an amazing search engine, so I would encourage you to use it that way, but this might be a good way for you to get started. So again, if you're on TweetDeck, and Hootsuite will do the same thing, I would ask it to show you the LMA 16 list if you're following this list of mine, and you can watch the activity from these people. Again, use it for any searches that you want, or bring Heather's list for the conference, annual conference, up here so you can watch it as well. But at the very least, I would really recommend that you go back through these people and you follow the people who are in LMA 16. Here we are. This is LMA 15. But you go ahead and follow those people that it makes sense Daryl, I was following Daryl Cross. Daryl has a couple different Twitter accounts, so don't think I was ignoring Daryl. He does a lot on Twitter, so I need to follow that one too. And again, just follow that list, and I want you to network with like-minded people that have to do with legal marketing, and before you know it, you will be networking with and meeting and getting to know a lot of people before you even get to the conference, and then certainly after the conference, because you can continue to follow the members on this list. All right. Well, thank you so much. Again, I'm Nancy Merland with Merland Marketing and Social Media, and I'm so glad that you're watching this video today. Thanks for your time, and let me know if you have any questions. If I skipped over something or if I used a term that was skipping ahead or behind, please let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions for you, all right? I can't wait to see all of you who are going to annual conference. I can't wait to see you in Austin, and those of you who can't, I'm sorry that you're not able to go this year, but let's stay together on Twitter and Facebook and wherever else. Use these hashtags so that we can stay close to one another and continue to network with one another. All right, take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.